Welcome to Rock Solid, the Round Rock Business Leaders Podcast. Join your host, Bryan Eisenberg, as he explores the journeys of entrepreneurs and companies across Round Rock, Texas. From startups and nonprofits to large organizations, each guest shares their passion for doing business in this thriving community. Let's dive in.
Hi, everybody. It's Bryan Eisenberg. Welcome to Rock Solid. I'm here today with Isaac Marquez-Diaz from the Texas Veterans Commission, Workforce Commission as well, right? Well, actually, you're the Veteran Liaison, right? What's your exact title? Let's get that right.
So I'm the Veteran Employer Liaison for the Texas Veterans Commission.
Okay. And it's part of the Workforce Commission.
Yes, we work, it's the Workforce Commission is a separate department from the state, but we work along with them. But we all work within the Workforce Solutions office, like here in Round Rock.
And we're right around the corner here from the studio. I'm really excited to have you here today for a bunch of reasons. But I want to dive right into one critical question, because you served in the military. You're a police officer as well. What was the moment in your career that triggered you saying, I think I want to help veterans find jobs?
Well, it was when, like you said, after the military, I became a police officer. After that, I felt like I didn't want to do it anymore, things going on. So I ended up jobless kind of thing, unemployed, like a lot of veterans here. So I was trying to figure it out, and I found out about the Texas Veterans Commission and won a job fair here in Austin area. So they helped me find a job. After that, I saw that incredible job that they do and how they do everything, and their main goal is helping veterans. So I decided I want to do that for other veterans, what they did to me, because I felt like how I struggle and getting in that position is not easy, for anybody. So I felt like I wanted to do for others what they did to me.
Why is it that you feel that like a lot of veterans don't tap into that as a resource?
I think it's because they think they don't need it. Or
Okay.
it's just that it's not well known. I think the problem right now that we're having is that even though Texas Veterans Commission is a big organization all over Texas, a lot of people don't know about it. And, when you're transitioning out of the military, they give us these kind of classes or information about everything that is out there for us. But a lot of us are, tapped out or not paying attention, kind of is.
You're ready to go home.
Yes. So a lot of people are just doing these classes just to get out of work kind of thing. So you don't pay attention much of what's going on until it's kind of time to get out and you forget all those resources. So I think it's just something not well known sometimes, or maybe they just think they have it. I think a lot of veterans, what's going on is like, I think I have it, or I have a job lined up or something, and maybe it doesn't work out. And then that's when you get into those positions.
Rock Solid is produced and recorded at Round Rock Studio. Located right here in Round Rock, our state-of-the-art studio is built for podcasters and creatives alike. We offer multiple professionally designed podcast sets, top-notch recording gear, and a full photography studio ready for any project. Whether you're launching a new podcast or upgrading your existing one, we can help with multi-camera recording, editing, and everything you need for success. Record with us at Round Rock Studio, your local podcasting partner.
I'm going to ask you a selfish question, because it was one of the coaches for our franchise, A Place at Home. We do home care for seniors and veterans and people with disabilities. And they always said, over and over again, said, if you can find somebody who's a veteran to help in the office, like, they're the best. First of all, I've been unlucky, like randomly finding them. We've had a few apply as caregivers, but not many, or families of veterans. What is it that we need to do to kind of find those great veterans, and how could veterans know that employers like myself are looking for them?
I think the best thing to do is to contact someone like me.
Okay.
There's employer liaisons like me all over Texas. So the best thing is to find somebody like me so you can start getting into those veterans.
Is it at the county level?
It's more it's kind of like each area has their workforce solutions or their workforce office, and most of those offices have an employer liaison like me for veterans.
Perfect.
So you can go look it up, or just go to the Texas Veterans Commission website and go to the employment kind of department side of it, and then you can try to get contacted there. But the best thing is to find somebody like me so you can start getting into that veterans part of it, because I think a lot of people, the same thing, a lot of employers don't know that we have that free service. Like I said, everything is free of charge. Everything we do, all our events, everything we do, it's free.
And as a business owner, I like free.
Yeah, so it's something that, it's something good for the owners of these businesses or the employers to know, because we're not charging anything. We're not trying to sell anything else. I think when I started this position, it was kind of hard because it was hard to explain that, like, I'm not selling you a service. I'm just giving you what you can get for free that the state is offering for employers. Mainly, we're trying to make sure that this local, Round Rock is becoming successful and everything, all these companies coming in. We're trying to make sure that these companies don't go away to some other places, or they're just, when they start, they don't struggle. So there's a lot of other things that they can do. And then mainly with veterans, if you want a hardworking veteran that, if you have a veteran there, that he's going to have a hard worker person. Because when you're in the military, they teach you how to do all those type of positions, time, management and everything.
Operations, execution, discipline.
So, and then the veterans to know about, these positions, they just need to learn more about, the I think right now, in my opinion, one of the best websites to look for. I know everybody goes Indeed, LinkedIn, but Texas has workintexas.com, which is a good website for, anybody looking for a job to go look for a job there. And then for employers, it's a free website that you can go post your jobs, find candidates, and do everything. And then that's where we do a lot of our referrals. If we have a veteran that is looking for a job, that's the primary website where I go to find the jobs for them. And we tell them, hey, go to Work in Texas, find jobs there. So if employers want to start somewhere, they can also start and work in Texas.
That's awesome to know. We do a lot of hiring a lot of caregivers, in the area, and always looking for more places to find amazing people. So would it work for a business like mine? Would it work for a business like Brent if he's trying to find a new, video producer, podcast producer? What's the range of talent that would be able to find there?
So Work in Texas has anything you can imagine. Doesn't matter if you're a starting business or you have been a big corporation. Yeah. You can find people there. So the thing that works is, like, everybody that is under unemployment or apply for unemployment or maybe getting any type of service from the state needs to have that account. So you're going to have everybody like that. So, you have a range kind of people there that are looking for jobs. So, and every time somebody comes to any workforce office, every time they're looking for a job, the first thing they tell them is that do a Work in Texas account. Okay. So, and the best thing of those kind of that website is that if somebody like you're like in employment, you're looking for someone, you post that job there, it's not going to stop there. The system will send messages to every person there that matches what you're looking for. So they, the system works with you. It tells them, hey, a place at home is looking for a caregiver, and you match what you're looking for. What do you think about looking at their position? So what's that system, what it does? So it's a beneficial for the employer, which also you can go in and look for the job seekers yourself. You can look for what you're looking for and then contact them yourself if you would like to.
I want to I have a bunch of questions, but one I want to just focus on real quickly is because you're talking about the system, and you mentioned it earlier about optimizing for that system and using the right phrases, the right keywords. Mm-hmm. Why is that so important? Both obviously for both the employer and the employee.
So, like, if you see it, I think right now the problem with a lot of people finding a job is matching with what the job description is. So we tell our veterans that you always have to match to the language of the employer. Mm-hmm. It's difficult for veterans when you're coming out. You have this language that maybe a lot of people don't understand because we're used to those acronyms and those other languages about weapons and things like that. So when you're coming out, it's like one of the problems that you have when you're in the military. You're a sergeant or you're a commander, and people forget to transition that word to a supervisor, a manager,
correct,
things like director. So it's one of those things that also companies need to look at. If you receive a resume that's saying, oh, I was a sergeant for this many people.
You don't know that you're been a manager for so many years.
So that's one of the things that we're helping not only veterans understand, but also companies. That, some of us might come out with that mentality and forget to change into civilian life. So it's something you need to look at also. Maybe in your job description, maybe there sometimes the state has that in there where, if you're a military, this is maybe some of the positions that are related to what we're this position that we're offering, or maybe just the words according to that side. But also, if anybody, one of those employers have any questions or need help kind of translating one of those resumes or need assistance, they can contact one of us, and then we can, happily help those employers translate some of those words to know more of their terms.
That's awesome. What are the things that would surprise employers about having a veteran employee?
So it's more of like, you have somebody that you can trust. Most of us have, like, a lot of people don't understand. When you go to basic training, they kind of delete who you were and they transform you into a soldier, which is something that, they want to make sure that they rely on you. So when you become a soldier, when you're a soldier, you have to be in certain parts, in a certain time. You have missions, you have things like that. So you can have somebody reliable that is going to, hard worker.
Yep.
It's like, I think most of us, like, if you talk to a lot of veterans, we are broken, not because, all the difficulties, because we want to go so hard into making sure we're 100% into our job that sometimes we break kind of trying to get into that.
What would be the biggest thing that would surprise them once they actually had them working for them?
That they're not going to have to worry about, like, micromanaging or anything. If you tell a veteran, this is your job, that's what they're even doing.
Give them commander's intent.
Yes.
And
so it's more of like, maybe a positive, negative, but if you have a mission, that's our main goal.
Yep.
When you leave the military, that's something that maybe we miss, because in the military, you just have your mission. Or this is what you're getting. And then you're gonna make sure that happens. So that's something that, employers don't have to worry about veterans. If you give them a mission, they're gonna accomplish it.
That's amazing. Now, one of your missions is not only meeting veterans, in your office, but you also put on these fairs. Can you talk a little bit about what you do with those?
So I create job fairs mainly in the Williamson County area and all Central Texas. So to make sure that all the community and our veterans kind of have those opportunities, and also to help employers, because also, it's one of those ways that sometimes employers don't think about. They just think about like, oh, let's put it on our website, let's put it online, but sometimes the job fairs are the best way to actually talk to the candidates in person and see what you're getting, because a lot of those persons want to go and talk to the employers there. Maybe you have a kind of pre-interview there. I already know the person. If you see it later on that I applied, you already know that person, so it's the best way to kind of get it. One of our best times here in the Workforce Center, they have a job fair every month. And I usually try to get those job fairs kind of almost every month if I can. But I don't only keep them here. I like to keep them in different, cities around Williamson County, because sometimes we forget that people don't have that possibility to move around or the transportation. So we make sure we get to them instead. And one of our bigger job fairs that we have, there's two big job fairs that we have taken over the year. It's one of them that I created. It's called the Texas Veterans Commission Job Fair Con.
Okay.
And then I partnered with Kalahari, where we have over 100 employers and organizations to give services to veterans and the community. And this year, I think they helped us out to get a little bit more space. So we're going to have over 200 employers and organizations where people can come and look and see what opportunities we have. And then last year we had over 1,200 people that showed up to the event. And then it was incredible, because it was not only like local people. We had people even from New York flying here because they wanted to see the opportunities in Round Rock.
Well, we've got special people here, so I understand that. So if they want to be part of that fair, what do they need to do?
They just need to, try to contact us, one of us to get you in. We're on we have also other one that they're hiring Redwood and you that is pretty all over Texas. That if you want to be part of any of those job fairs, just go to the workforce and tell them, everybody in the front, hey, I'm this employer, I want to be in one of those job fairs, or go to our employment department and Texas Veterans Commission website, and just there should be a contact there where that you can find that. Also, you can find me on LinkedIn, send me an email, phone, anything.
You're open to it all.
Yes. So anybody can contact us, and if we have any space, we can put you in there. We're still in the beginning of the planning process for the one in the Kalahari one, the job fair con, which is going to be in July 22nd. But if anybody wants to be part of that, they can contact us and we can work it out.
Do you also work with them to build their skills? So, for example, Bill Combs owns No Time for Social, right? So he has a digital marketing agency. Do they get an opportunity maybe to learn some of those skills from either those employers or through the Workforce Commission?
So if people want to be like in internships, we can try to offer those. If we're trying to make sure that there's opportunities out there. So we also partner with all these people that if they want to do internships with the transitioning soldiers, there's this thing. It's called the TAP program, transitioning program, in every military base. Where if there's employers that want to be part of that, you will have a veteran or a soldier that is on the transitioning out to work with you technically for free because the military is paying them still. They're gonna have the opportunity, I think, is the last at least 90 days where they can go learn what they're doing with you, so you can teach them. If you want to decide to hire them, it's going to be on your decision later on. But that's the opportunity for them to learn what you do and see if that candidate is going to be for that. Yeah. And then it's a win-win situation because the soldier is already learning a new skill when he's getting out, and then the employer is getting somebody no charge. They don't have to pay. They're just getting somebody that, let me see this candidate is going to work out, and they see that they can. If everything works out, they already have a person that's going to join their workforce.
I'm really curious. You've been doing this for how many years now?
2 years now.
2 years. So in these last 2 years, can you think of somebody you've helped that you were kind of surprised at what they were able to accomplish from the time you were able to help them?
So I think one of the main ones that I always remember, and I still in contact with him, is a Marine veteran that he was transitioning out from San Diego.
Okay.
And he contacted Texas Veterans Commission. He's like, I'm trying to move to Texas and this, trying to get a job. So it was a referral from higher up, from supervisors. And then I was able to, he was kind of concentrated on more light gaming companies. But, we were trying to help him out. But nothing worked out. I asked him if he was interested in working for the state, kind of like how I do. And he kind of liked the idea. I offered some kind of jobs. He applied, but there was nothing going on.
Okay.
And something that we do is advocate for them. So I go contact the employer, the State Department, and they're like, hey, you made a mistake. With state applications, it's kind of, if you miss something, it's pretty tricky. The system might put you out. They were able to find his application and get him to this right place. And then now he's the HR director for the General Land Office. So, and now he's changing the world on the state side because he's making programs for veterans within the state that they were not there before. So I think that little thing that changed into like me helping him get into that position is going to help veterans get more into the state in the future because he's creating programs. Now that he has that power, that position, he's creating programs to make sure that veterans have those opportunities.
That's amazing. If you had a magic wand that can kind of like pave the way for you for the next like three to 5 years, what would you hope you can accomplish in this role?
I think my main goal it was to have maybe a job fair every month. I know it's difficult for one person. I mean, and the workforce has like a team of almost like 8 or 10 people that they do it every month. But I would love to have the most amount of job fairs that I can. That way I can offer those opportunities to veterans, because I understand that I might have one. I have one coming up next week, but some of them might not be able to make it. So I want to have more often job fairs that it can offer those opportunities, and also maybe have more specific kind of events just for the employer. Like I have something called the Employer Showcase where I can put the employer into online or in person, and they can tell them what they're looking for specifically on that employer. I would like to have more of that to make sure I can get more veterans hired. So my main goal is to get more veterans hired, in the future.
So for someone like me who's plugged into the community, and and I'm hearing what you're doing. But a couple of months ago, I was with my friend Will Williams, who's been a former guest, a 26-year former Army Ranger. He runs the Share the Will Foundation. He and I had partnered to help a veteran who's disabled get into a power wheelchair. He didn't have one, and he definitely needed one. So we got that. And then a couple months afterwards, he teamed up with a roofing company, Family First, USA Cares, and Share the Will, and one other gentleman who just started a landscaping company. And the guy from the landscaping company, the roofing company donated a roof for him. The landscaping company wanted to clean up everything for him and make it all great for him. But one of the things he's expressed is that he wants to hire more veterans also to give them more opportunities and to do that. And so he's a relatively new business. Mm-hmm. Do you want introductions to people like that as well who are looking to hire the veterans, or does it matter the range of businesses that you're connecting with?
No, it doesn't matter the range of businesses. Like if you're starting a new business and you need people, veterans is the best option because you're going to have hard workers, like I said before. And then I can help you start that. because, like I said, Work in Texas is the best. If you don't have a website where people can apply it, you can utilize Work in Texas so they can apply through Work in Texas, or maybe in Work in Texas, you can tell them, hey, apply it through send me an email, things like that. So, we can help you start that business. And also, if you don't know how to do a job posting, I can help you create that job posting. I've done it before. There's other businesses that I started last year, and I helped them start with that job description, because a lot of people don't know how to describe that, and they just put, I need a driver, this is the pay. I'm like, well, give me more, I need more information. So I help employers that are starting up to learn how to do this thing. And then also, if it's a business that is, owned by a veteran, you get those incentives that the state can give you, and we can teach you about those. There's a lot of things that we can teach you as a business owner and things like that. Doesn't matter if you're a veteran or not. If you're starting up and you're looking into getting veterans or people, we can help you out from the ground up.
That's great. I mean, I know the impact a similar thing had on me here with the Chamber. So a couple of years ago, the Chamber did an event where they brought someone in, I think from SCORE, that's also going through some restructuring right now. But they went ahead and they did a session on hiring and retaining talent in today's environment. Now, I've been, in marketing for 30 years. I've hired a lot of people for a digital marketing agency in my previous life, but hiring for a home care agency is very, very different. And hiring today is very different than it was, 20 years ago. And they were able to share some tips and tricks and stuff like that. And it just changed the whole course of our business because we were able to hire so much better. So I know how valuable that information is for new businesses to learn about, how to do it today. And what a great resource, if you're a new business and you're just trying to figure out, I need to hire some new people to be able to plug into someone like you and learn how to tweak it. That's amazing.
Yeah, we can give you the tools and information to start up, and also we can help you create like an event. If you're trying to do a hiring, I'm trying to fill up a warehouse of people kind of thing, and you need to do an event, maybe you don't have a place. You can utilize our Workforce Solutions, locations. We have Round Rock, Austin, San Marcos, and other locations. If we're not, we always try to find you a location where you can find those things. If you don't have a place where you can do interviews. You can come to those interviews, do those interviews here.
Wow, okay.
I also help employers before they're like, hey, we don't have a place. It's everything online, but we need to do interviews. I'm like, don't worry about it. Come to the Workforce. We can book you in, and you can have a spot for the whole day where you can do interviews.
Could you even potentially coach them on how to do some of those interviews if they're new to that as well?
We can help them. So like I said, we can help them on how to find the candidates, how to make sure they find the right candidate, maybe interviews. The same thing as the opposite side, how we help veterans get into those interviews and resumes. The opposite side. My side is to help the employer to make sure they get those right candidates. So I can help them with how to do interviews, how to do job postings, how to do all that. I can help with that.
What an amazing resource. And like I said, I know how valuable that's been for me, who's lots of years of experience as an entrepreneur. So, if you're just starting out, or even if you've been doing it for a while and just really want to amp up what you're doing in terms of your HR and your hiring, I think I would definitely want to tap into to you as a resource. Any final thoughts that you want to share with the audience that I may have not have asked you about what your role is?
That's it. I think that covers it all. It's just like if you're in a new business or it's just a business in the area, I can help you out. If you're looking for veterans, it's the best option that I can say. I might be a little bit selfish because I'm a veteran, but if you need to help getting those positions, you're having trouble, I can help with that.
And if people want to connect with you or have questions, what's the best place to find you?
So you can look me up in LinkedIn, Isaac Marquez, or, my email is isaac.marquez@tvc.texas.gov, or just come to the Round Rock Workforce office, and then they can direct it with me.
Thank you so much for your time today. Really appreciate it.
Yes, sir.